Yeah, we're doing a Fox65, which is from CosFox.
Wow, TOXICITY, wow, keep the...
Okay, really quick though, I want to introduce this board. Fox65, it's a like collab design thing. So this is from CosFox. CosFox has, in my opinion, some really fun switches. I would say CosFox has had some in-between keyboards. Like, they have some interesting kits. I think the Leo 80 was one of my favorite kits from them because it was just, or Leo, yeah, the Leo 80 pre-built. It was a good price point. It wasn't anything overly crazy. It was, sounded good. I don't know. It was an okay board. Past that, I think most of their boards, though, have been sort of in the middle. Nothing too crazy expensive, nothing too crazy out there for design. This may be one of the more, I wouldn't say out there designs, but maybe their most, I say this very lightly, by the way, elegant. It's one of their more elegant designs. It does come with a wide thing of accessories, cable. This is the USB receiver things. It's wireless. We have the batteries. Then we have battery slot, and there should be the weight in here somewhere too. Daughterboard is proprietary, which is a bit of a letdown. 180 bucks, depending on what type of counterweight you want. If you want brass, it's 174. And then if you want the E-coated pearl white, it's an extra $5 on top of that. So I wouldn't say it's the most expensive project in the world. Here's the weights. And this is the board here. I guess maybe we should put the feet on it. Oh, look at that. Pogo pins. I did read pogo pins, but I wasn't too sure how they were going to implement it. All right, I can appreciate pogo pins there. Pogo pins there. It has 19mm front height. Okay. Yeah, okay, so this is where I may lose some of you guys, by the way. We haven't looked at the board design yet, obviously. It has a cool slider, for sure. However, it is a 1.2mm PCB, as well as an FR4 flex cut plate. I feel like this is going to be one of those boards that, you know, it's for a taste not of ours. Maybe it's not our thing here. We've talked about this. You have to be open-minded here. There are people who prefer this sort of compatibility with the keyboard and this sort of setup. Maybe it's meant for someone who likes something a bit foamier. We're going to just take it as what it is today. But it is what it is. It's also a screwless design. Not my cup of tea. Oh, maybe that one there wasn't necessary to unscrew. Being transparent, usually when something friction fixed like that, I don't know if that was because of the slider. If it's a little tight, it could cause some unnecessary resonance. Let me double check. This is a bit of a personal opinion. When it comes down to plates kind of going right to the edge of a frame, it could technically cause some unnecessary, unwanted sounds and just transference of sounds as well. So I'm not a big fan of how close this kind of sits to everything. Continue on and find out how we like all this. We've kind of dealt with a lot of boards where they have hot swap standoffs, and you know, it's kind of nice. It's kind of refreshing not having to worry about having to desolder one of these. But yeah, you can get rid of these. These things look like they can come right off, which is a good sign. That is a very, very good sign. I normally don't like them, and if you guys are wondering why I don't like them, I just feel like, again, they kind of add rigidity to the board, something I'm just not interested in. So, other than being a 1.2, again, preference, there's good here. We have a bunch of different options, and I appreciate that. Split left, step caps. Looks like we have a few different spacebar options. However, I don't think there's a 7U. It looks like there is split, but there's only a 6.25U, which again might be a trade-off. But you know what? I still appreciate being able to do split. So overall, PCB-wise, I can't be mad at this. More options than the TKD already? God damn. Let's see. What's underneath this part? I do appreciate that they've tried to add a whole bunch of more modern things. Oh, you know what? They've even kind of stepped the bottom over here. Albeit this is all aluminum. Not that I have any issue, but they did kind of step it, which is nice to see. Which, you know, can help with changing up some of the sound profile there. The weight will kind of just slip onto the bottom. It's not a very big weight. In fact, this may not do as much as you think it may do in terms of changing up some of the sound profile. But I think having the battery here will also help kind of change up the sound for the better. 4 episodes out and it's getting better and better. Oh, Vaughn, I love that you told me that, dude. That's making me more happy now. The show is called From? It is. It's a little, Okay, for anyone who's seen From so far, would you guys consider From to be a little bit scary? Just out of curiosity. I personally think it has some scary elements and overall theme to it, but I don't think it's like a horror movie type scary type, you know, like type keep you on your feet. Yeah, creepy is a good word. Alrighty, so this is put together. It looks like they gave you room to potentially not use the slider, but on the plate, but I'm noticing that you have no option there. Today we're using White Fox linear switches. I think they're just literally called White Fox linears. I've used these before. These are not that bad. I actually don't mind White Fox switches, or CosFox switches rather. They're usually pretty good. I've had great success with their tactile ones. They have some 3N tape if you want to tape this in, which I think I will just to make it simpler for myself here. If you guys know me as well, installation of a board is also very important, and kind of just being able to kind of feel those things out is extremely, extremely important to me. What I'm not liking about this right now is how this has to be flipped upside down, and then I'm expected to stick the battery into this upside down. Obviously, there's no way to disconnect the battery here, and I feel like even from a disassembly standpoint, if you were to adhere the battery first, you know, or have it already adhered, this is going to be a little bit tricky, and I feel like you're going to need to really finesse this. Actually, that wasn't terrible. Still a little awkward. Just a smidge awkward, I'd say. All right, so I don't mind the fact that they have a pogo connector here. It's fixed pogo though, so I would expect, like, it's not bouncy like some of the ones on the Neo boards are. So this is probably going to be a bit of a hotspot for the backspace key. Maybe slightly, it's slightly resting on the backspace key. So we could get a different feel there. All right, this is why I didn't think this was the right thing to do, by the way. I'm going to show you guys. Because this literally lays on this, which in my opinion defeats the purpose of gasket mount. Because now I have places where the plate touches the technical bottom or something that's attached to the bottom of the case. This is literally resting on the slider. So I personally think that is a bit of a oversight. What they should have done is just chopped off the plate here, like on this FR4 piece. I'm going to be very firm in saying this. I do think this needs to be kind of re-looked at in some manner. I think the plate file needs to be completely redone. I also believe the top mount is doing something I normally tell you guys is a no-no, which is there is a top mount piece right underneath the space bar, which is typically a big no-no. This is also just so, like, this FR4 plate is so tight against the side of the case right now. I am not a big fan of when cases do that. Beats me. All right, let's put some keycaps on. I am not hopeful for this. But let's put keycaps on and let's be the judge after we put keycaps on. I can already tell you guys, this is not going to be like the best keyboard. This is very much what feels like a bit more expensive pre-made thing. I have a feeling you're probably going to need all of the foam in this. So in terms of like options right now, you know, I'm doing it with no foam. No, there's too much resonance from the plate touching the outside over here. Overall, this has been a rather frustrating experience, I'd say. Like, it's not like the most streamlined thing to do in the world. But if you're going to release something a little bit more complex, you know, that requires a little bit more thought and effort putting into it, that's never a bad thing. However, I do feel that if you're going to release something like this, it is always, always, always a good idea to add documentation. Or at least how-to or expectations or anything like that, because it takes away from the build process. I think there is a joy of doing something, you know, with a little bit of effort into it, and I like that. But I think there's a limit to that too. Backspace. And that is what I said at the beginning of stream. because the pogo connector is right here, it's literally right here. Enter sounds fine. I'll be honest, enter's okay. For $200, if you're looking for something with a slider, I don't know what else is out there. Maybe there's plenty. I'm sure there is. I think for this price point, though, you could easily get something with this layout that sounds and feels a lot better, too. I think the weakest point, you know what? I'll say the sound's just okay. Like, it's nothing special. The weakest point is having the pogo connector, which, admittedly, I have to be fair, because we also looked at the QK Classic V2 or whatever it was. I have to be fair, and it had two really dead sounding things on the pogo connector there too. This is flat on the side, like it doesn't match the rest of the keyboard, just like that did. I'm not going to harp on it too much, but it's there, and I don't like it. I think for this price point though, right now you'd be better off, if you're just open to buying a keyboard, not just a 65, spending the few extra dollars and getting like the Neo 75, which is way nicer, way better of a build experience, or even the TKD. If you need a 65, I still think you'd be better off buying like the Mode Envoy. I think you can get it in and around the same price anyways. If you like the look of this though, and you don't mind everything I just did today, and you don't mind a little bit of a challenging build, maybe this is the keyboard for you. This is personally really struggling to kind of set itself apart in any sort of notable way besides the slider. I do feel like the internals feel very sloppy. Even with this magnetic badge, like, again, some instructions would be nice here. It's a cool magnetic badge. Like, I like magnetic badges. But again, I don't know how that stays put. I think I have to tape a magnet underneath. It does feel rushed. I was about to say that. This kind of feels thrown together and time ran out. Thanks for being here again, guys. I hope this was insightful for this particular board. Take care, everybody, and see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye, and love you.